Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice hits theaters nationwide tonight. And we've got the star-studded cast here to give us one last peek behind the curtain before the movie completely melts our faces off. So how would you say that Superman throughout the course of Batman v Superman changes as a character?
He is learning about his responsibility as a superhero now. We see him having to realize and deal with the fact that people accuse him of evil as well.
We get to see how the tide turns and how he becomes resented and elicits all the dark responses. Oh, goody, you're here to save us. Oh, wait, who do you think you are anyway?
So obviously this film picks up after Man of Steel,
Yep.
and the character changes throughout Batman v Superman. How would you say she's different at the start of the film versus the end?
You sort of see the importance of having someone who helps you see your way through life. I mean, Clark's in a place where he's really questioning his own identity, and Lois just feels helpless to help him, and really that's her motivation in this movie. It's not just a story, it's not just truth for truth's sakes. It really is to help him and to prove that he's the person she knows he is.
And then obviously with this character, it is Batman and Bruce Wayne. Different people say one is the mask, the other is the mask. Which one for you is the mask that he wears?
I think they're both masks. They're both ways of compensating and dealing with the pain that the guy has from losing his family and the unresolved agony he has over that. And whether it's being this character as Bruce Wayne or going out and fighting criminals at night, they're both forms of trying to kind of fill that hole in himself of unhappiness.
What do you think that it is about Lex Luthor as a character that makes him so dangerous? Because this world is obviously filled with metahumans and aliens, but he still has a lot of power.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy that, like, the audience can probably most relate to on a biological level because he's a human being, but he's the guy that you would least relate to on a psychological level because he seems evil and emotionless.
When we first meet Senator Finch, a lot of the stuff that she says makes her seem like she's kind of anti-Superman. But do you really think that that was the driving force behind this character for you?
Oh, no. I really think that what she wanted to bring to this equation was a balance, you know. She was driven by curiosity. I mean, just outright raw curiosity.
Let's talk about the character that you get to play in this movie.
Perry.
I love it because Perry gets to have the dynamic with so many different characters. How do you think Perry views Batman?
This is a real conundrum for Perry because this is someone who is operating completely within the shadows, and as such, it's very difficult to get a beat on how to report on him, how to help the public shape an opinion about someone who is, for all intents and purposes, trying not to be seen.
So within the Trinity, if Superman is the light and Batman is the dark, where does Wonder Woman fit in?
Smack in the middle. On the one hand, she's all about love and justice and truth and equality and compassion. And on the other hand, she's gone through some things that made her believe and feel that she shouldn't be very involved with a man's world.
And then obviously getting to look at the character a little bit more through Batman's eyes. He says at one point that Clark is dangerous. Do you think that there's some truth to that?
I don't think so. I think the danger lies within humanity's treatment of Superman. He loves the human race so much, he wants to protect them, and he'll do anything to protect them. It pains him not to be able to save everyone. Plus, he has to deal with Lex Luthor waging this psychological war against Superman, and he has no idea.
And then obviously you've got the comics as source material, but then working with someone like Jeff Johns as a resource as well. What's that like working with him?
Jeff Johns is a brilliant guy. You know, I consider him to be the most valued resource on all things, you know, comic book. And every time I like something in a comic, I always mention it. He goes, "Oh yeah, I wrote that." So after a while, now I just think he's bull. Man, he says he wrote everything. You know, he and I are working together on something, and I really am excited about it, and I love him. He's the best.
That's it for now, but you can find out a lot more about your favorite DC comics, movies, and TV shows right now on the DC All Access app. I'll see you guys tomorrow.